Special needs trusts are part of many estate plans. First, I should explain that a trust is simply an arrangement where a trusted person or financial institution called a trustee holds funds for another person, a beneficiary, in accordance with a written trust agreement that specifies its terms. The beneficiary of a special needs trust has some type of mental, physical, or intellectual disability. A special needs trust is intended to hold and preserve assets for such a disabled beneficiary. There's no magic to the descriptive term special needs trust in Connecticut. It could be called a discretionary or supplemental needs trust, or just a trust. There are two primary types of special needs trusts. The first one is called a self-settled or first-party trust, which is established with the funds of the disabled person themselves. These are often called payback trusts because they must pay the state of Connecticut back for any benefits it has paid on behalf of the beneficiary. The second type of special needs trust is a third-party funded trust. This kind of trust is established and funded by a friend or family member for a disabled beneficiary. Let's talk briefly about each type of special needs trust. Self-settled or first-party trusts are created by a parent, grandparent, conservator, or court, but not by the disabled person, for someone under age 65 and disabled under Social Security standards. When the trust ends, the state must be repaid first from trust funds remaining at death or termination. That's called a payback. Self-settled trusts will preserve Medicaid and supplemental security income, but not state cash benefits, which often fund group homes. There is no penalty period of ineligibility for public benefits on creation. A self-settled trust can be in a will or in a living trust and is always irrevocable. Self-settled trusts often hold lawsuit proceeds won by a disabled person. Third-party trusts, unlike self-settled ones, can be created by anyone for a disabled person. A third-party trust can be fully discretionary, or it can have a distribution standard, such as for the beneficiary's supplemental or special needs. A third-party trust can be part of a will or a living trust. Third-party trusts for disabled persons are usually irrevocable. The disabled beneficiary can never demand funds from the trust. It's important to note that a formal disability determination is not required for a third-party trust. The beneficiary can be any age, and I normally suggest that clients name an independent trustee. Remember, some trusts contain distribution standards for special or supplemental needs. So what are these? Typically, this special or supplemental needs describes items or services that are not being paid or covered by a public benefit or other source of income or support. Ultimately, the trustee always decides how the funds are distributed for the disabled beneficiary. When you meet with someone on our Murtha Cullina estate planning team, you should be prepared to tell us about your family members. If one or more of your beneficiaries has any disability, let us know so that we can suggest the appropriate trust and help you name an appropriate trustee or trustees.